Hey everybody, welcome back. Yeah, that's me. Oh good, the captain is here. Who's the captain again? Oh, it's a Miltank, good. Oh no, it's this girl with the really bad outfit. I don't like her design, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that she is going to be one of the main characters of the new anime. I don't know why. She just seems like someone I would not care about. Stoutland was registered to our pager. Oh, okay. Item finder is basically what you're saying. Stoutland, I believe, is the dog. Route 5 is pretty famous among trainers as being a great place to train up your team. Also, they kind of give you an idea where you need to go throughout this whole thing. Like, here we are in Route 5, I believe. Can we zoom? We can. So, we are... Where are we? Is there a cursor that, like, tells me exactly where I am right now? Okay, so we go here. So we're about here. So we gotta leave through the right and then go up. So this is already gonna be like the best Pokemon world in the series, not because of its locales, but because it is a living, breathing 3D world with a map that you can constantly look at and see yourself moving through it, and being able to zoom into the various areas and going, oh, there's this path and this, and You normally you don't think about that in these games, and it just feels more alive. I don't know. The addition of a mini map to these games, I feel, is very important, and is, you know, it shows that they're doing a bit more with the games. Like, do I have any? Do repels go here, or do I just straight up have no more repels? Could have sworn I did. Guess I do not. Wait, no, they're in here. My bad. I am blind. That, and I remembered I bought some while thinking about it. Oh, can we get through the bales of hay? No. I like how the frames dip a little bit sometimes. Yeah, let's use another one. A heal ball. That heals the Pokemon after it's caught. Let's battle you. I kind of wanted to talk about something with Pokemon that I feel is you know, important, and it's that this game is special to me already, as it's the first game where, and it sounds harsh, it's the first game in many years where Pokemon has decided, or the Pokemon Company and Game Freak have decided, this time when we make the game, we're gonna try. Now, that may sound fucked up, because it kind of does sound like that. Like, I have a lot of problems with Pokemon X and Y, and Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Much of it to do with just how safe they feel, to be honest. Like, you had X and Y, which definitely just made the series feel tired to me, like, afterward. It was the kind of game where I was very excited as I played it, because I had not played Pokemon in a while. Pokemon had literally come out at that time. It just came out, and, you know, the zeitgeist of playing the game in the moment. All of that's very exciting. And then upon reflection of it, you know, a couple weeks after I beat the main campaign, maybe even less than that, I kind of went, you know, just nothing special. That and the fact that the game's story and villains are awful. And the champion. I don't even remember half. I can't even tell you who half of the gym leaders are. There's fuck, can I remember more than one? I'm not trying to troll or anything. I beat it. There's the girl in it. There's like the girl that like is a fairy gym leader, but she had the weird eyes. Like I remember her. I vaguely remember something about. I remember Gym 2 having a bunch of rock climbing in it, which reminded me of Nickelodeon Guts. Yeah, that's it. That's it. The champion was not great. Like, didn't find her interesting. And the villains, Team Flare, were fucking abysmal in that game. The only cool idea was the whole, some, like, war that happens in the game. And it's like, oh man, what's going on with that? And, I don't know. I just thought X and Y were shitty. Doing squats really makes use of all your muscles. Man. Oh, so they're blocking progress that way. But yeah, I just feel like X and Y, they were playing it extremely safe. And I feel like the Pokemon formula eventually can start losing its legs for people. Especially me. Like, I can respect someone who's like, I gotta get the new Pokemon game day one because they're always great. But I feel like they were just so utterly terrified of doing anything that seemed different. Like, Black and White was the start of them actually trying to input some sort of story into the game with Team Plasma and Getsis and all that stuff. And I remember, you know, there was a reasonable amount of hype when you watched the Jesus Christ, the frame rate. There's a decent amount of hype when you see the opening cutscene of Pokemon Black and White, and you're like, there's stuff here to look at. That is interesting. And then, you know, they decided to do something interesting with Black and White, which was no Pokemon Gray. It was the first time they decided we're not going to do a third iteration of this game. Instead, we're gonna bring you a sequel. We're gonna redo some stuff with the world and just make it a direct sequel. That was interesting. And then you see, it's like, alright, it's time. What are they doing for X and Y? And X and Y was exciting. Mega Evolution at the time was something that people were into. And then the games came out, and they looked good visually, but they're also horrible frame rate dips. Like, you know, a big first-party Nintendo game struggling to hold its frame rate and stuff, which these still do. There might be less frame rate issues on the new 3DS, but fuck that. And then they were doing the story stuff in the new ones in X and Y, and I just felt the story was trash. The characters that you met along the way and the ones that were in your group were trash. They didn't do anything to further the story or anything engaging, and they just felt like roadblocks. How does that compare to this? It's somewhat similar, but not as bad. Enjoying it. You're clearly slacking. No, the problem here is that Hao is awful. He's absolutely repugnant at Pokemon. Who? This is Gladion. Okay, so what, are you on commission for Team Skull? I like that idea. Well, his musical, his theme doesn't seem to mix with it. Ah, so he's a part of Team Skull, but he gets his own theme. Alright. I think my other problem was with Team Flare and X and Y. None of the character designs for any of the villains in it looked good. at all. Like, none of them pleased me. Here, at least, they look pretty good. Like, especially this guy. Know nothing about him, but he's got good music, which I'm talking over, but fucking, that's what a Let's Play is. It's like, you've got that. He just killed me with a fucking Zubat. Also, I switched out a couple of Pokemon I don't plan on using, so here's our main team for now. We may switch out Chandelure, though, what it eventually becomes, because we're going to have a Ghost type with this guy, and I have another Fire type I'm considering. For now, let's switch over to Fruit Loops. But yeah, like, I'm enjoying the designs. Like, I've already, like, everyone's seen the fucking leader of Team Skull, and I'm like, that dude looks cool. And Gladion looks cool. And it's like, I'm much more pleased with that. But to get back to my main point, this game feels like it's, you know, trying compared to previous Pokemon games. Both Oris, because it was a remake, and X and Y were an example of playing it safe and giving us less to work with. Also, this guy looks nuts. Is that type null thing. So, like, playing it safe in the way that X and Y is like, 8 gyms, go fight the Elite Four and the champion. Also, we didn't make a post-game for this. I think that was the one thing that pissed me off the most. Like, somehow, like, you had a bunch of really cool stuff to do in earlier Pokemon games. Like, I remember Black and White 2 having, like, a hard mode or something in it. I remember having, like, the Pokemon World Championship where you were gonna... all the gym leaders, all the super powered trainers and champions would, like, show up and you could, like, take them on and stuff. And it was an amazing thing, and we didn't get anything like that in the recent games. I feel like they lacked a lot of stuff to do. Battle Frontier, that was removed. I think the worst thing was in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. They're remakes of games that introduced the Battle Frontier, a place where you could go and battle forever, basically, and just do a bunch of cool stuff. And, wasn't there, and they said, oh, well, this game takes place in a new continuity from the remakes, and the Battle Frontier just hasn't been built yet. And when that came up, I said, fuck you. No, fuck you. You guys didn't want to fucking add post-game, and, you know, you basically rushed your games out. Like, development, I guess, has gotten harder, and they've put more of a focus on getting the main game done, which in the end meant less content for the player. And there's also some stuff about these games getting bogged down a little bit more with hand-holding, tutorials, and becoming too easy, which I believe there are some arguments that can be said on that. My views on that for this game so far, they found a good balance. I'm finding that I'm getting my shit rocked sufficiently in parts, even with the experience share on. So I think that things in this game are perfectly fine, but I will agree that in Pokemon X and Y, nothing was a challenge. I wasn't losing pretty much anything, and that was a major problem. And if I have to turn off your experience share because you didn't balance the game for that eventuality of using it, which just starts off with turned on, you have a problem. What I'm saying is that Pokemon X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, compared to this game, are absolute dog shit, and this feels like the evolution the series needed following Pokemon Black and White. This is the Pokemon game that we deserved. What was it? 3-4 years ago? Basically. Wow, he made a critical, a super effective hit noise there. Strong opponents. Nah, what's going on? Not gonna lie, female grunt kind of looks hot. I think it's in the shorts. well, I guess that's all done. But definitely, just to ring it home, this is the evolution of the series that it needed. Like, I feel like Pokemon Black and White started doing a lot of things right by putting in some story into these games and trying to breathe new life into them and evolve them. And X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire felt like they went backwards from Black and White, and this feels like it goes forward from it. Granted, there was some experimentation of giving in X and Y and Oris of trying to give the characters, your character, friends and try to involve them in everything. And it didn't work in any way to my degree, and I thought all the characters were bad. But that attempt was there. A prototype of that was there. You could even say there was a prototype of what we'd expect here in the Pokemon episode Delta, which was the only real meaty thing. It was the meat of the post-game of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but I didn't find it to be that great. I didn't find the character that was introduced in that, the female character, I forget her name, to be that interesting, and the overall plot for it I felt was very atypical. To be honest, a little too cliche for my taste. But you did get to go fight a Rayquaza in space, so that was cool. But this feels like the game that, you know, people wanted, because it takes the one thing you have to take away from X and Y, which is here you can customize your fucking god, this frame rate. Sometimes it goes to like 8. You know what sucks? Game Freak is basically fucking untouchable. Like, this game shipped 10 million copies to retailers. Like, they're fine. They are so unfucking touchable. Like, Jesus. That, like, this game and battles like this can run like absolute horseshit. But no, you're not gonna see anyone complain about it, except, like, you know, people are gonna complain about it and then get back to playing. Like, you know, like, they're so untouchable with that. And you can even argue they're untouchable with what they do with Pokemon, even, you know? It doesn't matter if a Pokemon game is good or bad, it's going to sell fucking well, because they don't really come out yearly. And there's a decent chunk of time in between, and Pokemon is one of the strongest video game brands to exist. Like, that's just a fact. You can't get much more popular than fucking than the Pokemon. But I'm happy that they're finally moving forward with the series, and at the time of this recording, there's rumors that they're making a third version of this game, and that's going to be on the new Nintendo console, the Switch. I've seen, oh my god, the frame rate. I've seen people say that they're like, I'm not going to buy Sun and Moon now, I'm going to wait, because I think it's like Pokemon Stars, and it's going to be like using the Switch's technology and just be an enhanced port. That could not be true, though, because, again, it's a post with sources, and game development can change. Something could be planned and being worked on and then get thrown away. But for now, that looks like that's something that may come to fruition, and I will get that. Because the one thing that Pokemon needs, it needs for its battles to fucking run properly. Because this, right now, is kind of a fucking nightmare. Like, Jesus Christ. What will Jeffrey... Oh, Jeffrey's gonna attack. Actually, I forget if items will... Yeah, I think we'll do that, because I think they're faster, so... But these games need to run good, and I think we deserve at least, you know, 720p Pokemon. I think that's important. Some people like, graphics don't matter. I'm like, oh, yeah, they do. This game is showing that to me. Like, Jesus Christ. Game's running like a badass with fucking bad foot. It's like, of course, KZ, feet are used to run. Shut up. I'm gonna try and burn him. Try and get this guy out as soon as possible. Oh, good. Good. Okay, that should definitely fuck him over. So we burned him, and that's really important because now his attack should, I believe, be cut in half. I know your physical attack goes down when that happens, so we should be in better shape now. We'll nightshade it. But yeah, I'm enjoying this Pokemon game. So, some might find it, you know, weird that I'm finding. Oh yeah, you're normal type. You're a normal bird. Damn it. Some may find it, you know, weird or disagree with me when it comes to like praising a game by throwing the previous games under the bus, but like I don't see much in redeeming qualities between the previous Pokemon games. It's like they didn't advance. Like, X and Y and Oris did not advance the series in pretty much any way. Like, X and Y brings customizable trainers, Mega Pokemon, 3D Pokemon models. Can't say 3D Pokemon game because they still did, like, the 2D stuff in presentation and in the world design. This is the first game where it's 3D. And Oris brought us more Megas, but they didn't make Flygon, and I love Flygon, which means that they're dumb. And, yeah, I'm honestly trying to think, yeah, less post-game. They brought less post-game for people. And also, I don't even know if Mega Pokemon should count, because they've basically gone on interviews that clearly imply, yeah, we're done with Mega Pokemon. They're like, first of all, no repels. When we find a good fit for Mega Pokemon where this will be a good addition again, we'll bring them back. Which means, we're done. Which, given Flygon's one, if not my favorite Pokemon of all time, to see the game he came from get a remake, and for them to not give it a Mega Pokemon, pissed me off more than I believe it should have. Mostly because they said we couldn't come up with a design for Flygon. And I said, you motherfuckers turned Manectric into a lightning bolt, but you can't make some lazy redesign for Flygon? The fuck is wrong with you? But this game's tight. This game's tight, and I'm enjoying it. Hey, for once there's no Pokemon in here. But I've been meaning to talk about this a little bit. People, I've done streams before where people get mad when I say that Pokemon Sun and Moon look like Game Freak are actually trying to make a good game. Because I'm like, it's true. They're trying to make something good. They're not just copy-pasting their ideas from previous games and going with it. They're bringing something new and interesting to the table. Taking risks with this. And I think that's good. Also, Alolan regional variants of Pokemon where it's like, this Pokemon is the same as the one from Kanto, but it has a different design, different type and stuff. That is more interesting than a Mega Pokemon is. Sure. What do you need help with, young child that looks stupid? This child looks dumb because his eyes look dead inside. But yeah, to reiterate, I'm a fan of Pokemon, have been for years. First game was Pokemon Stadium, actually. Having watched the show, then I got into Red. I skipped Gen 2, did Gen 3, 4, 5, 6, and now I'm on 7 now. And I think around Gen 5, I picked up the remakes of Gen 2. So I've dipped into everything. Alright, so Lapras was added. You can climb atop Lapras, you'll be able to travel over bodies of water. Okay, so we just got Surf Ride, which basically tells you don't need to run Surf in your main team. because the HMs are gone. It's shit like this that shows how much they learned. X and Y actually introduced the having like the Go-Goat Pokemon like be something you can ride, so I can give them that. Like that's like them showing, hey, you can use this to run around. And then I guess while making this game said, what if we use that as the main form of transportation? That's the way they get around. That's the way they, you know, get through sections. The idea of having your Pokemon learn moves that specifically help you out in the world is great. I'm a big fan of Golden Sun. Golden Sun for the Game Boy Advance. Had one on DS. It's never coming back, mostly because Camelot are a bunch of pieces of shit and they will not let me have closure on that series. But that introduced throughout those games, Synergy, which was basically magic that allowed you to do puzzles, but you also had, you know, use that magic in combat. And it's like the same type of idea. Like, sure, you're using the stuff for attacks, but you can also use it for purposes that aren't related to attacks. It's like stuff to actually traverse. And that's a great idea until you kind of look at how an HM works and you go, alright, this is a move that you cannot remove from your character once you obtain it by normal means. You have to go to a move deleter. So you gotta go to the move deleter. And then, oh god, you're calling for help too? Jesus. Oh good, no one appeared. It's like you can't delete the moves easily. You need these moves for like puzzles and stuff. It's just it's not a fun thing. Because there are a lot of HMs that were shitty. Whether it's cut, whether it's dive, defog, I think. Defog's pretty important though. They're shit. And they didn't offer anything that made you go like, oh man, this edition really fucking... The addition of this shit really just fucking... That's when the game starts, man. When I had to pick up dive, that's when I was really excited. Wait, hold on. Is it possible to aim up? Don't you... Okay, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. You can't escape. You can't... Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm about to fucking kill myself in a second. Because there are two Pokemon here, they said it would be impossible to aim your Pokeball that you throw because there's more than one target. Conversely, you are trying to tell me that I can't aim my Pokeball, but Dempsey can aim his attacks? Fuck you, Pokemon. Like, I would have been fine saying, like, something like, it's too dangerous to throw the ball while there are so many enemies. Like, at least I can make a joke like, whatever, it's two, I kind of get it. But that reason is so bad. I'm in shock. I am reasonably shook. I mean, this is what I get for trying to see what kind of encounter is here, but Jesus. You know, we're finally riding a Lapras properly, and I'm pretty down with this. What is this? It is a water Pokemon. What kind of water we got here? Is it a Magikarp? Nah, it is a Wishy-Washy. Oh good, we have like a little bathing suit on. Look at that, look at that. I'd fuck the shit out of me. I would not, though. Alright, we're at the point where I'm actually outpaced in levels, so I have to be careful. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run and heal up a little bit here. I suppose we better go and check. Who's we? Can you let me know who the we is? I didn't know that someone else was doing stuff here. Or are you trying to include yourself in all the things that you're not fucking doing? My favorite thing is when someone says, we, and then I go, we? No, me. It's like, no, not we. Me. The second I see some real-ass contributions from a motherfucker, that's when I'm willing to say, yeah, let's throw proper credit. Until then, go fuck yourself. Did the repel wear... Actually, that means you're stronger than... That's a duck. Yeah. That's a duck. You know? Guys, did you know that that's a duck? I think at this point I'll just switch to something that's high level to make sure I don't get assaulted. There we go. Yeah, give me another repellent. It said that there was a splash nearby. Huh. Where is it, though? Didn't look like I could go past the waterfall area over here on the left. That seems sufficiently blocked off. Yeah, do another. Ah, there we go. We're golden. Thank you for the compliments. A strapping young swimmer? He's just strapping, you know? Get on this fucking thing. It's only one again. Ah, yeah, this must be the Pokemon that they showed in trailers. Where, like, it can turn into multiple fish. And it, like, becomes a giant school of fish. That makes sense. Alright, let's beat it up. We need the experience. Man, you are weak as shit. And Fruit Loops hits level 20. Uh-oh. I did not mean to battle, or to run into you. Oops. Also, we've been recording for a while. I'm gonna get on the mainland and then cut this video here. I didn't mean to go for so long. Fisherman Carl! Man, Carl. You're exactly how I envisioned you. Kinda. Of course it's a fucking Magikarp. I like that they show you on the bottom screen the weather effects. That is, convenient. Just another thing showing how much they improved. I mean, so many UI elements and stuff have just been great to see with this game. Yeah, pluck that shit. You know, I was expecting a lot from this fisherman. What I got was nothing. You are a sucker, Carl. Everyone go tweet at Euron131. That is EURON 131 on Twitter. And say, you're the sucker. No context. I just want like a week from now, which is probably when this will come out, for him to go, why the fuck everyone call me a sucker? And then just getting really angry. That's my hope. We just picked up fucking Scald. Within it lies the legendary Pokemon said to be the embodiment of the sea, Kyogre. Really? It's like, I gotta say really, because fucking Kyogre shouldn't be in this one. It's like, wrong game. Alright, so clearly we got some sort of encounter coming up, so I'm going to end off here. This is a long video, but it was an interesting one at the very least. Next time, we finish up this section. Until next time, everybody, thank you for watching another episode of Pokemon Moon. This is a cool game. Why haven't I hit stop yet? It's because I'm going to miss you when I leave. Bye.